Welcome. This is Cheating Tale Stories. Tell me where you're watching from. I've always believed the worst sound in the world was glass shattering. But that was before I heard the slam of a prison cell door and realized it might actually be my salvation. My name is Adrian Cole. I'm 37, a civil engineer. My work is about precision, permanent structures meant to endure decades, maybe centuries. And I thought my marriage to Lena was built the same way. But here's what I've learned. Even the strongest foundations can hide fractures. Until one day, the whole thing crumbles in silence. It was a Thursday. I'd just finished a 12-hour day at a project site. My hands still smelled faintly of concrete. Dust when two uniformed officers walked into my office. Their faces were blank. Professional, but their words were like ice water down my spine. "Mr. Cole, you're under arrest for property damage and aggravated assault." I laughed at first. It sounded absurd. Me? I barely argue, let alone fight. But they had a sworn witness statement and a timeline that matched my whereabouts. The metal cuffs bit into my wrists. My phone buzzed in my pocket, but they didn't let me check it. I didn't get to call Lena until we reached the station. She didn't pick up. That night, in a cold, sour-smelling cell, I replayed the day over and over. My mind kept circling back to her, wondering if she was worried. Pacing the living room, waiting for my call. When I was released on bail the next morning, I rushed home. Lena was in the kitchen. She wasn't crying. She wasn't even anxious. She was irritated. "This is humiliating, Adrian," she said flatly. Not "I'm so glad you're okay." Not "how could this happen?" Humiliating. Something in my chest shifted. A hairline crack. My lawyer, Harris, worked quickly. Within 48 hours, traffic camera footage proved I was nowhere near the so-called crime scene. But the more the case unraveled, the more I couldn't shake the feeling that Lena's reaction had been rehearsed. And then, the thought hit me. What if she wasn't surprised by my arrest at all? When Harris explained that the hearing would take weeks, a plan began to form. I told Lena my bail conditions. Required me to stay in Leeds at my cousin's apartment until the court date. She bought it, even hugged me goodbye, her hands loose and cool against my back. But instead of heading north, I drove around the block, parked, and slipped back into the house with a box of motion-triggered cameras. Not the flashy kind, just discreet, high-resolution devices with built-in audio. The sort we use on job sites to stop equipment theft. I placed one in the living room, one in the kitchen, and one in the bedroom, hidden in a corner where no one ever looked. For 2 days, nothing happened. I almost felt guilty, like I was the one betraying her trust. Then, on the third night, my phone pinged at 9:02 p.m. I opened the bedroom feed. Lena sat on our bed in a deep green dress I'd never seen before. Her hair was styled, her makeup perfect. She wasn't alone. Daniel Price, a contractor I'd once recommended for a friend's renovation job. Broad shoulders, easy grin. The kind of man who walks into a room and makes you feel like you've known him forever. They talked in low voices, sipping wine. Then Lena laughed, a laugh I hadn't heard from her in months. "He actually believes he's stuck in Leeds," she said. "Poor Adrian. Always so trusting." Daniel smirked. "That's why it works. He'll never see it coming." The world went very still around me. My heartbeat roared in my ears. Over the next week, my cameras caught everything. The secret visits, the whispered plans, and then the envelope, thick with cash, that Daniel handed her. "For the statement," he said casually. It had to look real. In that moment, every unanswered question clicked into place. My arrest wasn't bad luck. It was a setup. They had orchestrated the whole thing to push me out of my own life. I didn't storm home. I didn't call her. I let the recordings pile up until I had hours of undeniable evidence. When I finally walked back into my kitchen, Lena's mug slipped from her hands, shattering on the tile. "I thought you," she stammered, "were in jail." I finished for her. I slid my phone across the counter and hit play. Her face drained. Her lips trembled, but no sound came out. Within days, Daniel was under investigation for fraud and bribery. Lena moved out with nothing but the clothes on her back. My record was cleared. But victories in betrayal stories aren't clean. They are jagged. They cut on the way out. Even now, I don't hate her. But every time I hear a door slam, I think of that cell door closing. The night I thought my life had ended. And how it was really just the night I finally saw the truth.